Hello, hello. So I had a plan today to, after my work plan fell through, my son was sick. So, he's getting those teeth and he was really fevered and up most of the night. So I'm home today. So I had a plan to get on here and kind of finish my makeup with you. And then I was going to tell you a little bit about what I read today for my devotion, because when I was reading it, I felt a strong push to share it. And I think somebody needs this today. I don't know who it is. I don't know what you're going through at all, but I think someone needs this. So here it is. I was reading today in Zechariah 13, and he's talking there about, this is a prophecy. It's kind of looking forward to what the crucifixion is going to be like, what the Lord is going to go through. And he says, and I will bring the third part through the fire. He talks about the first and the second part being cut off of the people. He says, I will bring the third part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. And I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my God. And if you know anything about the refiner's fire, we hear that a lot, right? So the refiner's fire, the Bible talks about being tried as silver, being tried as gold, being put through the fire. That's called metallurgy. And when you put silver through the fire, it's actually an ore that you're putting through. And when that ore is purified, it turns the kind of the bad stuff to dust. And it's really cool because the dust is blown away by a strong blast of air. So, and then you have the pure, silver dross, the actual silver. And, think about in your own life when you go through something and you feel like, man, God is really putting me through it. He's putting you through a refiner's fire because he's getting you to the place where you are his people and you are going to say, this is my God, and you are going to have a purpose in life to share what you've been through. Because if you haven't been through anything, what do you have to tell? And we've all been through something, and a lot of people will look at these things and say, God, he just doesn't love me anymore. I went through this thing and he didn't fix it. He did. He fixed it. He made you different. And if you can embrace the different that you are, embrace what God was trying to do in your life, then you're going to come out of that a more pure person, someone that has a purpose. The Holy Spirit is, it described as a mighty rushing wind. So that blast of air that blows away all of the impurities, that's the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is rushing in like a wind and blowing out all of those impurities as you're going through the fire and you're being purified. You're going through something, but God doesn't leave you in the fire alone. And if you go to Isaiah, when he talks about in 61, it says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me. Isaiah's talking about, he's referring to Zion. So we're talking about God's people here. And he says, for those who are mourning, and think about when you're going through a trial, you're mourning. You feel like something's going wrong. Something is bad. You could have lost somebody that you loved. You could have, lost money, anything like that. But you're going through something. So we have this refiner's fire experience. But he says in Isaiah, he says, I want to trade your beauty for ashes. Or I'm sorry, your ashes for beauty. I want to trade that. I want to take your ashes. You've been through the fire. You're sitting in ashes. Now I want to trade that for the beauty, the silver. And the words in the Hebrew, beauty means embellishments. Okay, so he's going to take you out of the ashes, which in Hebrew means worthlessness. He's going to take you out of this feeling of worthlessness and make you an embellishment, make you a jewel. You're not just going to exist as a Christian. That's not your purpose. Your purpose as a Christian is not just to exist and live saved. That is not why you're here. So if you're going through something, you need to see it in a different perspective. You need to look at it in this light. Like Zechariah says, I am, I'm putting you through this fire. I'm purifying you. I'm bringing you out of the ashes. You're sitting in these ashes. It's your mourning. Now get up and let me show you your beautiful self. I am trading these ashes for beauty. And that's what we need to start turning our perspective into. We need to start looking at mourning and trials and struggles as, what's God trying to do in me so he can use me? Not like, he's forsaken me. I think he's gone. I think he hates me now. Don't get that in your head. You are being used. That's why you're being purified. He can't use you all dirty and messed up. He's got to get those impurities out. He's got to let the Holy Spirit rush in as a mighty rushing wind and blast out those impurities. It says in metallurgy that those impurities turn to powder. Those impurities turn to nothing. They are dust. They are not permanent. You can let them be permanent. You can let them be solid. But let God put you through the fire. Because if you let him do that, they turn to nothing. They're dust, they're ashes, and the Holy Spirit can come in and he can blow them away. And then you are sitting there in your beauty, in your silver, in your embellishment. You as a Christian are shining. You're an example of what it means to get through it. Now I'm through it. No one wants to see you sitting in it. You don't even want to see you sitting in it. So don't sit in it. Get through it and then talk about how you got through it. Because that's what people want to know. How in the world did you get through that? Because I want to get through that. And we are a testimony. So that was my devotion today, and God was just pouring it. I think somebody needs to hear that. Somebody needs to hear, get up. Get out of your ashes. You're beautiful. God's making something out of you so you can use it for somebody else. This trial is not for you. All right. Have a great day, guys.